Hi there. Welcome to Absolutely Right, the very first graphology based podcast show in India. I'm Aditi Surana. I'm your host. I'm a graphologist and a high performance coach. Now, we are in uncertain times, and no matter which way you look at it, it is tough. My mother developed this habit, this routine during the lockdown. Every time she hears an ambulance van passing by, she starts praying for the patient and their family. Now, it's because of her that we started noticing the number of vans that pass by throughout the day. But today, since morning, there is one passing every 20 to 30 minutes. It's kind of tough, it's kind of challenging. We have no clue where we are going, we have no clue how things will unfold in the coming future. So the question is it really possible for us to stay calm, grounded, and be negative physically and positive mentally while dealing with everything that is going around us? That is the topic of today's conversation. Tough but required discussion. So let's talk about it. Let me start with this confession that I'm not a motivational speaker. So I'm not going to say things like, oh my God, we will get through this. And I don't know how to say that. I am a coach. So I reflect on problems that my clients present to me and come up with the best possible solution that we can implement and devise it by using some tools, very practical methods to figure this out. Now for us, at this point in time, we cannot control a large part of our reality. We cannot control whether we can go out, whether we can do business, how we want to do it. So freedom is definitely not a choice of discussion right now. But still, there are things that we can do to keep our sanity in the middle of this chaos. How to do it? The first concept to think about is presented by Julian Rotter in 1954, old one, called locus of control. He said that yes, there are things which are not in our control and we cannot do anything about it, but there is always this one area, the controllable area of our life, where we can choose how we want to behave and how we want to tackle with things. Now, it's important for us to understand that this is what we're going to do if we want to sustain and survive through the mental pandemic that we are going through, along with the physical one. One of my favorite thinkers, a Swiss psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, and father of analytical psychology, Carl Jung, spoke about this concept, and he said, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Now in this case, what do we choose to become? Is it possible for us to still find each day meaningful, find our connection, and not let things get to us? There is this quote, this anecdote that I read somewhere. Ships do not sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets inside of them. Now, all that is happening around us is difficult, no doubt about it. Every time you go on social media, open your WhatsApp, talk to friends, we hear all heart-wrenching stories and how difficult things are. You might be going through a situation like that. But still, in spite of all of this, if we can figure out a way to control things that we can control, we will be able to go through this journey and probably grow through one. Now, how to do it? A few things to keep in mind. If you catch yourself ruminating or worrying about things, ask yourself this differentiation. Is it really in my control? If yes, do something about it. If not, choose to drop it, because more energy you spend on how wrong people are, how they should behave, what they could have done, you're only affecting your mind and your body negatively, and that is not helping anyone. Right now, you got to be on a survivor mode. Come up with routines that can really help you. Routines where you move your body, you move your mind, you learn something new. And if you constantly do that, you'll figure out a newer voice, a newer connection with your mind and with your body. And that may help a lot. Social distancing does not mean you will be isolating yourself from other people. So figure out ways of engaging with other people, especially for all the extroverts. In graphology, we speak about handwriting that moves to the right, or large handwriting samples talk about people who require to connect with other people to feel good and feel happy about life. So if that is your case, if this is who you are, then please pause and figure out how can you continue to do that. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself crazy and people around you. These are the few things that you can do, obviously, but I'm sure from March 2020, you have heard a long list of things that one can do and how you can survive. I want to talk about the second point, which according to me is more crucial to solve this problem. Hear this carefully. Lead with your mind where your body is useless. Lead with your body where your mind is useless. Now, what do I mean by that? It is difficult to control your mind once it starts going all over the place. It is difficult to control your body when you're feeling all exhausted, tired. Now, in this situation, don't try to force your body. Literally, trick one with the other. The whole idea of graphology is where your mental thinking patterns become physical with the help of your hand movement, and they come on paper for you to understand so much about yourself. From the time I started studying graphology, I also got fascinated by other studies and subjects that spoke about mind-body coordination, like dancing, like acting, like yoga movements. Now, all these ideas where body affects the mind and mind affects the body. Now, if you can practice any one of them, it would really be helpful. One of them is graphotherapy, which we do as part of our Grapho-Journaling, and I'll talk about it when we get there. The third point is our today's Grapho-Journaling question, one of my favorite questions to talk about. Now, no matter what is in front of you, how big or complicated the situation is, and I have tried and tested this with CEOs of large organizations, to mothers who felt chaotic about the situation, to anybody and everybody. It works. What is the idea here? Look at the situation, think about it, and tell yourself this one thing. No matter where you are right now, it absolutely doesn't matter. This, whatever I'm experiencing right now, is where I'm at. This is my starting point. This is inevitable. So if I really start looking at it and say, okay, if I can't change the fact that I'm here, what do I require to do to change something about the situation? Not what I desire to do, not what I should be doing, not what I'm supposed to do, but what do I require to do? So many times when we start looking at things from that question and we start asking that question, we realize what you require to do could be exactly opposite of what you desire to do. So many times, in the lockdown, you desire to go out and probably hang with your friends. But what you require to do is exactly opposite of that. Now, in an emotionally outrageous situation, what you desire to do is go there and slap that person who is insulting you. But what you require to do is take a step back and think about the situation for what it is and evaluate it and see your triggers and, like the whole Grapho-Journaling bit. But we forget this whole idea begins with this question. So, my friend, for coming 1 week, pick a situation that is getting to you, where you feel helpless, where you have no clue how to deal with things that bother you. Write a bit about them and ask this Grapho-Journaling question. If I accept that the situation in front of me is inevitable in this moment, what do I require to do to change it? The very moment you ask this question, your mind, like a Google search engine, goes and figures out all the things that you require to do. And that is the most beautiful part of the story. If you keep practicing it, you will see what I'm saying. Let me quickly walk you through Grapho-Journaling method. Step 1, where you ask this question. Step 2 is before you answer the question, you take a ruled book and a ballpoint pen and you practice this beautiful graphotherapy stroke called flow of thoughts for 1 page. Now, when you think about this as a 1-page activity, all you got to do is follow the instructions mentioned in the link aditisurana.com/Kamasutra, CALM, Kamasutra. The method allows you to be calm. Now, the next point, the third point here is set a timer for 15 minutes and now write everything and anything that comes to your mind. Just go with the flow. Do not think much. Do not force yourself. The whole idea is when you ask a question and do the stroke practice, it starts creating the flow for you to deal with the situation in a different way. All you got to do at stage 3 is to capture it. Do not give more than 15 minutes, otherwise you won't do it for a longer period of time. So 10 minutes to do the stroke practice and 15 minutes to do the answering and responding to the question. That's all. That's all you require to do, if possible, on a daily basis for you to find your way to be calmer. Now, my favorite quote on calmness is by Bruce Lee. He says, calmness is a superpower. And I cannot agree more. Every time I have seen somebody choose calmness over chaos, they were in control of the situation no matter what they were dealing with. And if you want to build that mechanism, you got to practice it by using all the tools that we mentioned today almost on a daily basis. If you want to learn more about this fascinating subject of graphology, you can join our Graphology masterclass. The details are mentioned on the website. If you like the S-stroke and it is really changing your world, Do share it with somebody who can get benefited. Tell them to practice it. It is applicable for every age group, and the stories are fascinating. If you have a story, please mention in our comment section or make a small video and share it with us. You can write to me on write@aditisurana.com. Take a moment to make a nice picture of your stroke practice or make a short video and tag my Instagram handle @AditiSurana. We would love to share it with other people. You may land up inspiring someone who is waiting for the right moment to happen in their life. I will see you on coming Wednesday with one more episode of Absolutely Right with a guest who I will be analyzing. Till then, happy writing.